No, sin demo. Sí, aquí no.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to this online leadership assessment workshop and interview. We're starting now. It's exactly 6 o'clock at my time here. It's exactly 6 o'clock at my time here. I'm going to share my screen for everybody to be part of so that we can get to see some things together and we can have a wonderful session together. I urge everybody to be of utmost patience in the course of this session. And I am sure that everybody must have gotten a message telling you about what this session is all about, even before you join the session. Sample of the message you must have gotten include an understanding and disclaimer, which says, dear candidates, by reading this, you are fully aware that the organization is a center for leadership, entrepreneurship, and development initiative. I'm sure every one of us got that message, and that the organization dissociates itself from any misinformation arising from your mode of invitation. And you understand that the online interview session you're about to sign in for is all about leadership, business, leverage, and partnership. I'm sure for every one of us, or for many of us who are online now, you must have gotten this message, which is to tell you about what this interview is all about. So very quickly, we are kickstarting now. The first thing I want us to do is to register our presence for this interview. Now that you are online, please send a message to the number that I've sent you the link, the number that invited you to this place. Send a text message to that number to tell the number that you're already online. That will form your registration and your attendance that you're already online. That you're already online. If you invited Shola, if you invited Dan Juma, Ryan, please connect with them. They're having difficulty hearing what I'm saying, so that you can let them understand they need to connect to their device audio. If you invited Shola, if you invited Dan Juma, Ryan, please connect with them so that they can connect their device audio. Now, very quickly, we're going into the session properly. This is an interactive interview session. And for so many people, because of the world we live in and the misconception in our mindset, where the word interview is being mentioned, we have a contrary misconception about it. And virtually everybody assumes that an interview is strictly meant for a job. I beg to differ because you discover that if anything happens, and let's say, for instance, you go to the hospital and doctors want to get to know what is happening to you, they begin to ask you questions like, how are you feeling? What did you eat? What are they trying to do? They're trying to interview you to extract some information and facts from you. If something happens now, you decide to go out in this lockdown, and police accost you, they begin to ask you questions like, where are you going? What do you want to go and do? What are they doing to you? They are interviewing you. So an interview can be defined as a standard tool of selection. An interview can be defined as a what? As a standard tool of selection between a standard tool of selection, which is defined as formal meeting between two parties. And what are the two parties? The interviewers and the interviewee. And based on convenience of the interviewer and the interviewee, an interview can be organized in various forms. So this is a form of which the interview is being organized because this is the most convenient way of conducting this interview. The reason is because you can't even go out. If we invite you to our office, you can't even come. Everybody's on lockdown. Even for us, we're working from home. And that is why the best means to conduct this interview is to do it online. Another reason why you are invited for this interview is because our organization is looking for more hands to work with, more hands to be part of the team, because presently we are rated as one of the organization providing essential services, rated by NAFDAC, rated by the federal government, and our international body is also acknowledged by the World Health Organization. And that is why it gets important for us to increase the team capacity, to increase the team numbers, to have more people on board who can be working from home and be able to help service our clientele. Now, interview can be of different forms. We have screening or telephone interview, we have video conferencing, we have one-on-one, we have group interview. So here today, we are combining video conferencing and group interview together. And in this form of interview, we are looking out for certain qualities in you, please. One, we are looking for your leadership quality. Who is a leader? A leader is somebody who is willing to learn. A leader is somebody who is a good listener. A leader is somebody who is open-minded. A leader is somebody who is ready to take risk in life. A leader is somebody who is ready to do something different from what everybody has been doing. A leader is not somebody who gives excuses. A leader does not give excuses. Another thing we're looking out for is your initiativeness. How do you think? How do you reason? How do you see things? How do you assimilate things? How do you view things? How do you think about things? Are you getting it now? When others are saying there is casting down, for a leader is seen lifting up. When everybody is seen lockdown, for leadership, in leadership, you see opportunity. What do you see in this period of time? A lot of people can be complaining, but a lot of people are making money. Let me give you an instance. The application we are using for this interview is Zoom application. Zoom has been existing for a while now. But do you know, because the man has positioned himself well with his initiativeness, due to lockdown worldwide now, a lot of organizations, a lot of people have decided to come on Zoom and they've subscribed to him. According to Forbes magazine some days ago, the founder of Zoom application now is rated one of the top billionaires in the world. What does it mean? Your initiativeness will make way for you when others are seeing difficulty. Another thing is your assertiveness. How well could you assert what you decide? Do you make a decision today and change your mind tomorrow? Or you stand by what you believe in? Another thing is a good communication skill. You're coming into this organization to be a business leader in partnership. You're going to be a brand ambassador, a brand representative, and you're going to be representing the organization. You'll be representing the products and the services of the organization. So please, it is important you should be able to communicate well, because here in this organization, communication is key to leadership. Another thing is we're looking for excited people to work with, enthusiasm. We're looking for happy people. Fine. Somebody said, if life throws you lemon, you make a lemonade out of it. What does it mean? It means it doesn't matter what life throws at you. What is important is what you pick out of it. So we are looking for happy people, excited people, enthusiastic people, not because they have money in their pocket, but because they are certain about the future. Another thing we are looking out for is self-confidence. You have to be bold, you have to be courageous, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be tactical. Building business is like fighting a war, Robert Kiyosaki said. You don't go to war front and you depend only on the guns and ammunition you carry to war. You must have strategies that will make you win the war. And that is why we're looking for people who are strategic, who have leadership quality, who have all these criteria to work with us in this organization. And I can tell you, if you have all these qualities, what I will say today will make a whole lot of sense to you. And if you don't have these qualities, you're going to see a lot of nonsense in so many things I will say. But I bet you, everybody, there are three categories of people in every gathering. People will say, yes, this is a challenge. Let us pick it and let us go. And people that will say, oh, is it possible? Please, whatever I'm saying today, you must have a believing system to see fine whatever I'm going to tell you today, in whatever this workshop is going to be on today. I'm not going to be the only person who is handling this workshop. I have a co-anchor here who is also an executive in the organization. Her name is Ms. Tope Agunbiade. I will be introducing her on board soon because she'll be taking the later part of the session. But very quickly, as we proceed into the session, I would like to tell you a little about myself. My name is Dele Akisulola. I joined this organization 8 years ago. Now, before I joined this organization, I was a graduate like everybody. I had my first degree 2007. I had my second degree 2011. My first degree was in UNAN, University of Ado-Ekiti, where I studied microbiology. And my second degree was in FUTA, where I studied food and industrial microbiology. Now, I looked for a job after my certificate. My first job was with Gino Tomato, where I was employed as quality control personnel, and I was paid 29,000 naira. Now, after my master's, I had a better offer. My better offer this time around was with Scout Foods, where I was offered 45,000 naira. And as at the time I got the offer of 45,000 naira, I was already married. So for those of us who are young ladies, think about it. If you happen to be my wife, as at this time I'm talking about, how do we cope? Imagine the husband you marry earning 45,000 naira, and as a young woman you want to look good. You know, as a young woman you want to do Brazilian hair, woman hair, Bosnia coils, Alicia Keys, Victoria Beckham. How do we cope? And I also had at that junction, I didn't need a soothsayer to tell me that I needed a change. I was ready to take the change that was necessary, and I kept searching for what I know I can do better at. A couple of months later, I came across this organization. That was precisely December 2011. When I came across this organization, I saw a lot of things happen. And as of January 2012, that was during the subsidy strike in Goodluck Jonathan era. I came into the organization during the 2 weeks lockdown. So if you're coming now during lockdown, this is an opportunity for you because Robert Kiyosaki said, you know, the time of crisis is when great leaders are born. Let me tell you the truth. I came into the organization during the 2 weeks lockdown of Goodluck Jonathan subsidy strike. Now there's another lockdown. This is the time for another leader to be born. 8 years in this organization today is a different story entirely. 8 years in this organization today, I may bold to tell you that I've not seen any of my mates anywhere who can boldly stand up and tell me 8 years on the job, they earn close to what I earn in this organization today. Secondly, I've never seen any of my mates anywhere who can stand at par with me. Today, I've traveled around the world courtesy of this organization. Today, I've been able to meet people. The Bible says a man diligent in his business shall stand before kings and not men. You know, the picture I'm showing you today was a picture I snapped at Birchwood Hotel and OR Tambo Conference Center in Johannesburg, South Africa. Now, this is one of the numerous trips I've enjoyed in the organization. We'll still talk about that later. You know, I'm just saying this for you to understand that 8 years in this organization, my story has changed. Why? Because I dare to be different. I choose not to settle for what I have. And that's why somebody said, if you don't know what you want, every bus stop, if you don't know where you are going to, every bus stop will look like your destination. If you don't know what you want, every job will look like what you want. Guys, ask yourself the truth. Is it what you have in your hand now? Is it what you want? Is it the best for you? And that is why, if you know you are open-minded and you are ready, you are zealous enough to see better opportunities, please open up your mind as we progress in this session. We're not going to take eternity, but we're going to be meaningful. Now, very quickly, I'm going to take you further into the session. And I'll start by introducing you to this quadrant. You might have seen this before, and you might be seeing it for the first time. But whichever way, understand the explanation around it. This is called a cash flow quadrant. Cash flow is the process at which money comes into your pocket. So what does it mean? It means for all of us seated here today, you've been making money in one way or the other, no matter how little, no matter how big, you've been making money. For you to connect on this online, you use money to buy your Android phone. You use money to buy your iPhone. You use money to subscribe data. So in one way or the other, you know what it means to make money. Now, Robert Kiyosaki said, whichever medium you use to make money, you belong to any of these 4 categories of people anywhere in the world. Whether you're in America, you're in Nigeria, you're in Germany, anywhere you are in the world, you belong to any of these categories. Either you're an armed robber, you're a prostitute, either you're a lawyer, you're a banker, you're a teacher, either you're a business owner, you're a businessman, you belong somewhere on this quadrant. Now, who are these people? Please follow me. Now, look at this picture very well. We're already going into the session properly. Please, this is where you need to open up your mind. Look at this picture very well. This picture depicts the different people and their lifestyle on the quadrant. The first category of people are the employees. Who is an employee, you know? An employee is somebody who is given a job. So you have a job. Somebody gave you the job. Now note it, everybody. Whatever anybody gives you, they can take it away from you. I say it again. Whatever anybody gives you, they can take it away from you. That's why you see a lot of people have a job today and they are sacked tomorrow. No matter how much you are paid on the job, don't be excited, because the day you lose the job, that is the day you are back to square zero. And that's why I'm proud of this organization, because we don't give job. We don't give you something we'll take away from you tomorrow. We're calling you to be part of the organization, working with as a partner. You have a stake. And the moment you are part of the organization, you have a stake with the organization forever. Another thing about an employee here is that they work hard, no security, no time, and they work so hard for an active income. Let me define an active income for you. An active income is what you earn, that you are happy that it's consistent, but remember, it is fixed because it is called salary. Salary is meant to be fixed. Let me give you an illustration. When Goodluck Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, $1 then to a naira was 160 naira to $1. So imagine you have a job then, and they were paying you 70,000 naira. Automatically 70,000 naira then was about $400 and something. Because if you divide 70,000 divided by 160, that's about $400 and something. But do you know how much $1 is now? $1 now is about 420 naira. And that is if it doesn't increase overnight. Because just this morning I had the news that our crude oil is now very useless. Nobody will buy it from us again. Recession is everywhere now. Recession is on top tier. Now, what am I saying in essence? Somebody earning 70,000 naira 6 years ago during Goodluck Jonathan has a money that is more valuable than somebody earning 70,000 naira now. Why? Because active income is always known to devalue. It depreciates. You might not know it devalues, but in what it can buy, you will know whether it has devalued or not. Another thing is, this man is active. When they're going to employ you in any organization, they will catch you young. You're like just like a bamboo pole that is caught in the bush when it is green, healthy, full of life. Green means life. And you know, they use the bamboo to erect a building. When the building is strong and solidified, they remove the bamboo and they cast it away. Some people will even use it as firewood. So what does it mean? By the time they are casting the bamboo away, it will have changed in color. It will have changed in shape. It will have been weak and useless. That is exactly what happens to this man on suit. You could see the suit is faded. And you could see he's turning his back on the organization. He's bending. He wants to leave, but he can't leave. Do you know why he can't leave? They have put a whiner at his back. What is this whiner for? They used to whine his brain. You know, when you decide you are tired, you want to leave the job, that is when they will increase your salary. When they increase your salary from 50,000 to 60,000, they give you a reason to work more for another 1 year or 2 years. After 2 years, you are tired again. You decide you don't want to work again. They promote you from supervisor to manager. When they promote you again, you are excited again. What have they done to you? They have whined you. If you want to understand what I'm saying, remember those children toys. If you want it to move, what do? You whine it. You screw it, and you leave it. It runs, and when it is tired, it stops. That is exactly the life of this man. The question is, for how long do you continue like this? If you want to understand what I'm saying better, please go home as you are home now, look at people around you, our parents, our fathers, our mothers, our aunties, our uncles, our sisters. Do you like the kind of life they are living? Why? Because many of them are employees. Now, many people get tired of being an employee and they come to become a self-employed person. Who is a self-employed? A self-employed person is that person who was not given a job, but he owned the job. A self-employed person can be a professional. A self-employed person can be an accountant, an auditor, an architect, a lawyer, a doctor. They own the job. They own the job. They are the organ of themselves. Now, at this junction, one thing that makes these people is that they run on large debts. Because for them to own the job, they borrow bank loan, they borrow stupendous amount of money, and they use it to establish that small business, that shop, that everything. Now, for those of us who are self-employed now, agree with me. If you don't do anything presently now that relates with foods, with nutrition, with pharmaceuticals, you agree with me that every shop now is on lockdown. Every shop is on lockdown. I was in ShopRite some days back, and I saw a lot of shops locked down. People that sell clothes, people that sell perfumes, people that sell electronics, all those shops are locked down. But don't forget that some of those people borrow bank loan. They borrowed bank loan. And despite the bank loan now, COVID-19 has made them locked down for over 1 month. And we don't know whether the lockdown will still continue. So the question is, if the lockdown continues, what is your fate? That's the question. Another thing is, these people have insufficient funds. They work around the clock. 95% of people are found there, and they struggle for 5% wealth, and they are stressed out. Now, the good news is, you can operate on the other side of the quadrant, which is the right side. Now, who are the people on the right side? From the picture, you will know them. The first person here is this man on a blue safari. You could see him, he's walking smart, he's gesticulating, he's eating and dumping the trash in the bin, he's having a suitcase full of loads of money. He's not looking handsome, monkey no fine, but mama like him. Now look at this man. What makes the difference? He owns a system, not a job. There are two different things. A system is different from a job, and people work for him on that system. Let me give you an example. GT Bank. GT Bank is owned by Fola Adeola, and by story, Fola Adeola was not a university graduate. Fola Adeola had ND, and he went to have ICANN. He became chartered. Coupled with some friends, they founded GT Bank. In GT Bank today, thousands of graduates are working for him. Now, what is the difference? Fola Adeola owns a system that allows people to work for him. Now, imagine if Fola Adeola has gone look for a job. Those people who are working in GT Bank today, where would they work? And that is for you to know that as you are sitting listening to me now, guys, a lot of destinies are connected to your destiny. If you don't get it right, many of these destinies will automatically fail in life. But if you choose to get it right for once in life, you can touch the life of so many people. Today, to the glory of God, I've touched the life of so many people working with me cut across Nigeria. And I still intend to touch more lives. And that is what this organization is all about. Now, people who are business owners, they work hard for a few years of their life. And after a few years, they have what we call easy work. They have stability, they have spare time, and they work on passive income. What is passive income? Passive income can also be called residual income. It's a kind of income that starts little, and it grows with you as you grow older. I used to tell people something. I said, why do we look for money? We look for money most of the time because we have money problem. You agree with me? Now, let's assume you have a money problem of 50,000. And because you are young, you want to solve that problem, you go look for a job of 70,000. That problem is solved, no problem. But what if you have another problem later of 80,000? Automatically, a job of 70,000 cannot solve it anymore. You go look for another job of 100,000. Okay, good. What if the problem increases to 150,000? Automatically, you go look for a job of 200,000. Good, the problem is still solved. Okay, what if the problem increases to 300,000? Then at that junction, you'll be looking for a job of 400,000. Good, you are solving it. So what if your problem increases to millions? Or do you think you will never have a problem of 1 million in life? Think about it, guys. Where do you run to at that junction? And that is one thing about passive residual income. It allows your income to grow as you grow older. As your responsibilities grow older, your income grows old with you. And when you are making money as a business system owner, you can now bring the money down to be an investor where you send money on errands. At this junction, money works for you, no debts, plenty of money. And at this junction, people in this category have freedom. Now, one crazy thing about this part is there are just 5% people in the population here. And these people share 95% wealth. That's why you discover that for people who build a system of business, there's too much money in circulation for them. I'll give you an instance. Maybe you read in the news. When COVID-19 came to Nigeria, as our last month, some people came together to donate money for the federal government. And you hear Dangote 1 billion, Elumelu billion, Otedola billion, Alakija billion. Please, how much money does an employee and self-employed donate? Answer now. Rather than donating, these people everywhere are waiting for government to share palliatives. You're listening to online videos, you see them, they will say, government did not share the money. Government did not share the money. Government did not share the money. Guys, do you want to continue to remain in the category of people saying government do not share the money? Or you want to live a life of people who can donate to the government tomorrow? And that is the life of a business owner. You are the one that will choose what you want out of it. Now, the good news is this, is that this organization is calling you to come and be part of the organization, not as an employee, not as a self-employed, but as a business owner. Now, what makes a business owner different is the fact that if you look at this quadrant, an employee have a job, but he has no leverage, and he shares 5% wealth. A self-employed person owns the job, he still has no leverage, but he trades his time for money. But if you look at a business owner, what do they trade? They work with people. You can see people here. The more people they work with, the more money they make. And that's exactly what you're coming in to do in this organization. You're coming in to work with people, because on your own, you can't do it all alone. Guys, let me take you back to the Bible. For those of us who are Christians, and for those of us who are Muslims there, I want you to just learn from what I'm saying. The Bible says in the book of Ecclesiastes that when two people work together, they get a good reward for their labor. Please go back to your elementary business studies. When two people work together, what do you call that? You call it partnership. So what does it mean? It means even the Bible acknowledges that partnership is better than being on a job. And the Bible said further, that woe unto him that standeth alone, because if he falls, there will be no other person to pull him up. Please, I'm not the one saying this, it's in your Bible. Guys, look at this quadrant very well. Who are the people standing alone? The employees and the self-employed. Guys, you can't stand alone and expect to succeed. It doesn't work. You must understand working with people. And that's exactly what this organization is talking about. Working with people allows you to have what we call leverage. Somebody say leverage. Wherever you are, say leverage. Now, leverage is a system that gives you support. Leverage is a system that gives you support, that allows you to work a little but get more results. It's very simple. When you work with people, you are leveraging on the effort of yourself with other people. There's little or nothing you can achieve doing it all alone. Let me explain it further. Let's say, for instance, as a man, you can work for 5 hours a day, single-handedly, meaning that if you're employed on a job, that's the best result you can get, 5 hours a day. But imagine if you're working with 10 people, and everybody contributes 5 hours effort per day. Please, what do you have? It means 5 times 10 people will give you a result of 50 hours per day. Guys, even if you work around the clock, can you ever work for 50 hours in a day? It's not possible. That is why you discover that business system owner gets more results than when you stand alone. Why? Because leverage comes with people, other people's time, other people's energy, other people's resources. And that's exactly what you're coming to this organization to do. Please learn to work with people. Now, why do you even need to work with people to leverage? These are the reasons. The statistics today is scary because recession is out there now. It's in the news everywhere that a lot of people will lose their jobs at the end of lockdown. You can choose to agree with me. You can choose to argue it with me. But the simple truth is, it's everywhere in the news. Now, these statistics, I saw it some days back, and this statistic says Coronavirus will cost 47 million jobs to be lost worldwide by next quarter. So it means a lot of people are going to lose their job. For some of us who are on this channel, presently, I know you've been on a job before lockdown. But please, what do you think will happen to that job when you resume? Either you like it or not, things are changing. Life is refreshing itself, and things are changing shape. It is better you embrace change and you change with life. A lot of people now cannot work, a lot of jobs, a lot of people, a lot of companies cannot do anything now. But I am still working. I am still doing something. I am still making money. Now, another reason why you need to work on leverage is look at these statistics. For some people that have restaurant business, this statistics shows that 3% of restaurants are permanently closed now. And 70% of the restaurants have already laid off their workforce. Not just restaurants, guys, even so many other businesses. Please, guys, what do you think will happen? Some businesses are at home now. What they are spending is their capital. After lockdown, it's as if they are starting afresh. Please, guys, don't put yourself in an uncertain situation. And that is the essence of this workshop. Now, how do you now use leverage to build passive residual income for yourself? This is it. Follow me through. You can only use leverage to build residual income for yourself when you offer quality product or services to people that is essential and people will continue to purchase day by day, month by month, year by year in a growing market segment. Do we fall into that category? Yes. How do we fall into that category? We fall into that category because our organization is rated today, I said it earlier, as part of essential services in this country. I went out yesterday or day before yesterday, and I met a lot of roadblock. I met police, I met military men, and they were stopping me. And as they were stopping me, I was showing them my ID card. And I told them, I'm part of essential service providers. And I told them what I do. I'm a nutritionist. I speak to people about their well-being. I speak to people about their nutrition. I come from the food angle. And all they could do was to pass me. And they said, go, 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 go. Now, what does it mean? It means I am essential to the daily living of every human being now. As a result of coronavirus, you agree with me that it is only people who deal with food, pharmaceuticals, medicine that are essential services now. And that is where we come in. We come from the angle of nutrition. And that is exactly what you'll be talking to people about. Another thing is you can leverage to build residual income if you work with a proven business model that enables you to grow and leverage the work of other people. I've said it earlier, who joins you. So you must be willing to work with people because in our organization, we work with people. The most important part of our organization is the people's development. We work with people. Here in our organization, we're going to go into the job description proper, but you get to understand that it has to do more with trainings and development of people that allows your success and growth in the organization. Now, another thing is it allows you added bonus as you work with people, and it gives you bigger bonus as you make positive impact in the lives and well-being of customers and business partners. And the fifth part of it is it's fun. It's fun. Something you can enjoy, not as a job, but as a career and passion. Here in this organization today, I'm building career. We build career in this organization, not on a job. It's not only on a job you build career. You can build a career on business. I build a career in this organization, and they're still going to show you the career path. I build a career in this organization, but we do it with passion. Now, what is passion? Passion is something you love doing. And passion is something that you will always do, even if they don't pay you money for doing it. As human being, think about it. What is that thing you will always do, even if nobody pays you to do it? I know you are thinking now. But the answer is simple. The answer is talking. Talking. You will always talk, whether you are paid to talk or you are not paid to talk. Now, the concern at this junction is, why don't you convert that resource of talking into money? And that's exactly what you're coming to this organization to do. Now, another thing that is so important, just like I said, is that our organization structures deals with you developing other people. You can see this man developing this man. And you can see this man standing with a group, teams of people, and developing them. Now, you develop people, the organization gets to develop you, and you develop people through trainings and development. That's why you are important in the training and development. A lot of things I'm explaining today is part of your training. By the time you eventually come into the organization, because after today we're going to talk about your documentation, by the time you have your documentation properly done with the organization and you're eventually working with the organization, the next thing is that you're going to go through trainings. Your training is going to start almost immediately. There are some of you that are going to start your training tomorrow. There are some of you that are going to start your training after tomorrow. And there are different levels of trainings you're going to go through. We have different trainings which include Circle 1 to Circle 4, which is going to run concurrently every day until you are well trained, and the organization can now say, yes, you can now go out and begin to represent the organization, and you begin to make money for yourself. Now, another thing so important is this. Please note this. Robert Kiyosaki said, change your focus from making money to serving people, to serving more people, because serving more people makes the money come in. Our organization is all about people. We serve our clients and we serve our partners. You're coming into the organization to be a partner. Serving more people is the basics of the organization. At this junction, I will be handing you over to this beautiful young lady. Her name is Ms. Tope Agunbiade. She's going to be taking your job description using that story. She has been in the organization for some years now. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of what she's becoming. She's diligent, she's active, she's matured, she's good to go, and she's very clever. Now, this is a lady that is full of ideas. She has traveled with the organization internationally. She has a lot of experiences, and she will be using her experience this evening to talk to you about what the organization does. Now, what you can do for yourself is to pay attention to listen to this lady, because she has a lot of things to tell you. Please pay attention to listen to this lady, because she has a lot of things to tell you. Now, along the line in the course of this workshop, you might have some questions. In case you have some questions, write your questions down, take your time. At the end of the workshop, somebody is going to connect with you on phone to take all the questions on your mind. Now, what do you need to do? You cannot ask the person all the questions, but one thing I can assure you of is some of the questions you want to ask will be explained as Ms. Tope will begin to take you through the workshop proper. So pay attention to her, listen to her as she guides you through. Ms. Tope, are you there, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you have the floor, please.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate you, sir, for this privilege. You know, someone said when you don't have a mentor, you will rupture. And I must say, it's actually been a good one having you as a mentor, sir. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. My name is Tope Agunbiade. I'm actually a business entrepreneur and also a wellness consultant. And I've been in this organization for 4 years now. I've traveled within and outside the country, courtesy of this organization. And also I've been able to train people in my team. Now, this opportunity has been able to help me to transform me, to develop me, to become a womanpreneur. This opportunity has been able to develop me, to actually help me when it comes to my self-development. I can remember some years ago, before I actually joined this opportunity, I was actually an insurance marketer and also a self-employed. I was into some big business, but along the line, I got to discover, you know, just like Robert Kiyosaki have actually said that as a self-employed person, it gets to a time that so many factors actually affect your business. And it's not just about the factors that affect your business alone. The business is not actually an asset, it's just a liability, because if anything happens to you on that business, the business actually dies. You know, along the line, I actually got to discover that, okay, I think if I'm not just a self-employed, I can still have another job to reach by being an insurance marketer. And being an insurance marketer wasn't a pleasant one. I don't know, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Hello?
We are with you. We can hear you, please.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay. Being an insurance marketer was not actually a pleasant one, because this is a country whereby a lot of people believe God is my insurer. And that actually affected me. I never believed in myself. But when I actually came to this organization, I was developed. I was really, really developed. This organization has actually transformed me, because with this organization, I've been able to achieve so many things. Now, back to our discussion for today, our meeting for today. Now, the essence of this meeting is actually for you to be able to see how you can take hold of your finances. The essence of this meeting is for you to be able to see how you can make yourself your own government. You know, somebody said, take responsibility of your finances or you get used to taking orders for the rest of your life. And, you know, just like Mr. Dele Akinsinola has actually said earlier, you come into this organization, you're not coming in to be an an employee or a self-employed, but rather you're coming to be a big business owner. Now, when you're talking about a big business owner are people that understand that it's not just about me doing business, it's about me building business. Which simply means when you are doing business, that business can die at any point in time. Certain circumstances can make the business crumble. But when you are actually building business, you are not actually doing the business alone, but you are involving people. And that's where we stand in this organization. So it simply means you're coming to the organization to be a partner. Now, when it comes to partnership is actually something that's been existing for a very long period of time. Partnership is actually a business that exists between two or more people. And take us back, examples of people that have built business and partnership business are people like Awolowo. Awolowo actually built business with Coca-Cola, and today Awolowo is actually repaying so much from Coca-Cola, even though he's dead. So it simply means that a dead man today is still making crazy money for himself. Apart from Awolowo, we also have this man called late Otumba Gaddafi. On a daily basis, Gaddafi makes nothing less than 4 million naira on a daily basis. Now, that's just because Gaddafi has been able to understand that if I'm standing alone, I will die alone. You know, someone actually said, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with people. And that's what partnership means to us in this organization. Now, when it comes to partnership, you also earn what we call income. What actually makes a difference between your income as a partner and also what you get on the job as a salary? When it comes to salary is actually fixed. And at the same time, also, when it comes to salary does not increases as your responsibility increases. But when it comes to income, your income actually increases. And this income actually does not come in one streams. Our income in this organization comes in multiple earnings. You can see some people can be on a job and they can decide that they want to still have another business by the side. It's just because they want to have different source of earning. But coming to this organization, you are actually coming to the organization to earn income. Now, the first income earning in this organization is actually corporate presentation. Now, somebody actually said that if you really want to go far in life or you want to actually make money, then you must be a problem solver. So it simply means corporate presentation is all about solving problems. How do you solve those problems? I'm actually explaining in a way that every one of us can get to understand. How do you solve this problem is actually based on the skills that you actually have within you. So it simply means whatever area that you are actually good at, whatever skills that you actually have within you, the organization actually makes you use that skill to solve a problem that actually is being indicated in an organization. Now, as a problem solver, there's a money that is being made. Now, let me take myself for an example. When I was actually an insurance marketer, I was actually helping people to solve the problem of, you know, having something to keep for the future. But despite the fact that I was helping people to solve the problem of having something to keep for the future, I myself was not even sure of my own future. I was not even sure of what my income earning is going to actually be. But when it comes to corporate presentation in this organization, this actually comes in on a weekly basis or on a daily basis. So it simply means you don't actually have to wait till the end of the month before you actually make money on corporate presentation. But one thing is, I tell people life is in stages, which simply means you might not really understand everything I'm saying right about now. But as you proceed in your trainings, you will get to understand how beautiful and how awesome corporate presentation can actually be. Then the next source of income in our organization is actually monthly pay. Now, monthly pay comes in on a monthly basis. Now, how does this come in? This comes in as a result of training people, as a result of developing leaders in the organization. Now, I have people that are being fixed into my team. It's my duty to actually train those people on what corporate presentation is all about, and at the same time also educate them to become a great leader in the organization, because our organization center majorly on leadership development. Leadership development, which simply means even though you're someone that you cannot speak English English. Sorry about that, please. With this organization, you will be personally developed, and at the same time, you will become a leader. That's actually what monthly pay is. Monthly pay actually is what you get at the end of the month. Now, apart from monthly pay, you also have incentives. Incentives. Incentive actually comes in two different ways, but incentive comes in. Sorry about that.
All right.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, please.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Speak up, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, please.
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you. I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, incentive actually comes in on a quarterly basis, rather. An incentive is just, to say a job well done. It's just to say you've done so well. Take this, have this. Now, when it comes to incentive comes in two various ways. We have the cash incentive and the travel incentive. Now, cash incentive actually comes in dollar currency. And that's why in this organization, we are always praying that dollars should keep on increasing. But the truth being said, cash incentive can be wonderful. It's not actually included in your monthly pay. That's something different on its own. And apart from cash incentive, we also have travel incentive. Now, travel incentive actually is what you get as a partner in this organization. One beautiful thing about this organization is whatever they promise is what they deliver. Whatever you're told you will get as a partner, that is also what you will get. Traveling in this organization has been wild, has been wonderful. It has been another exposure for me. And just like I said earlier, that I've been able to travel within and outside the country. With traveling in this organization is all expense paid, coverless, fishless. And one beautiful thing about traveling is whenever you're traveling, you're not actually going alone, you go with your partner. That's one crazy thing about it. This is a picture of mine in our my last trip to Abu Dhabi last year. And I tell you, this trip was wow, it was wonderful. This was actually Egypt airport, and it was actually a different scenario, a different life experience. When it comes to traveling is as if you're opening a new chapter of your life. Thank you very much, sir. It's just as if you're opening a new chapter of your life. If this for some of my colleagues that we actually went together, young individuals, young people doing great things, enjoying life, exposure, and the likes. And at the same time, also, when it comes to traveling, traveling makes you have a different mindset about the world at large. You think differently, you reason differently. This was where we went to McDonald's. It was actually wow. It was wow. And mingling, you're not just mingling with just anyhow person, you're mingling with CEOs, young people like you, challenging you and making you understand, enjoying life together, making you understand that together we can make the world a better place. And that's just the way it is. This is also another young lady. This was in Abu Dhabi. This was at Emirates Palace. It was wow. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. In this place, I was looking like an alaja. I became an alaja automatically because, going there, you need to make sure that your dressing and everything is modern. And it was really an interesting experience. The reason why it was an interesting experience was just because, and my family, I came from a family whereby, traveling looks like a golden treasure. Traveling looks as if you travel out of the world, you're actually the goddess of that family. And for me, it's actually not a new thing, because with the organization, it's been traveling upon traveling upon traveling. these are young individuals. This is actually a lady. This lady here wearing black with the shade that's for drama. She actually was a presenter, earning 25,000 naira. But today she's doing very well. She's a CEO on her own. And this is also another lady here, a pharmacist. This is another lady here that studied microbiology. So many young individuals that have been able to understand that it's not about the school, it's not about the scholastic education I have, it's not about the professional education I have, it's about financial education. Because somebody said, what is the essence of the scholastic and professional education you have and your pocket is empty? It doesn't make any sense. And that's why we need to tell ourselves, this is a time whereby we need to make a change. This is a access. But for me, I say there is no secret. What I have is actually a system to success. Now, moving further, we have different levels in the organization, because this levels is what actually shows what your achievement is, and at the same time, when it comes to your performance. The first level is the level of the local team member. So it simply means when you're actually getting started in the organization, you operate as a local person. Just the way I also got started. I got started as a local team member. And as a local team member, the first thing I need to get is my franchise. My franchise is what gives me the privilege of being a partner to operate and enjoy the luxuries and enjoy the benefit that the organization is giving to me. And the least I can actually earn as a local team member is actually 40,000 naira. And at the same time, I can earn as much as 70,000 naira. But the truth being said, this is actually a tip of an iceberg, because I could remember this period was actually when dollar was still at the rate of 200. Now imagine now that dollar is even at 420. Imagine how it's going to be. But don't let us even calculate that. But I'm trying to make you understand that you can earn much more than that. Now the next level is actually the international team member. As an international team member, at this point, you've come to understand that you need to leave the local level and start operating in the international level, because this is the time whereby you start traveling, all expense paid, and at the same time also you earn an incentive. The least incentive you get here is 500 US dollars, and you earn as much as 3,000 US dollars. And you can also earn on a monthly basis nothing less than 333,000, which simply means you can be rest assured that when your responsibility is increasing, you know that you have a system that can actually help you to actually solve those responsibilities. And that's just the way it is. Now, the next level, which is actually the level of the president team member. At this point, it simply means you're a president in the sense that you have a say, you have a bigger stake in the organization. And as a president here, even your own benefit is even much more than the president of a country, because at this point, you can be rest assured of your earnings in terms of from thousands to millions. As a president team member, you actually get an incentive of 4,000. That's the least incentive. And of course, you can rest assured of getting as high as $15,000 incentive. And also the highest you can also get when it comes to your monthly pay is nothing less than 2.1 million. Now, I don't know what your responsibility may be. I don't know how much you need money at this point. But I think this is a period whereby every one of us, we can look at it critically. Imagine right about now, as you're at home, wherever you are, there's a lockdown. This lockdown, what is it actually depicting to you? What do you see? Now, it simply means if you're at home, you've been spending and nothing is coming into your account, then it simply means this is a time you need to make a mindset shift. A mindset shift, because someone actually said that if you actually want a change, then you must change the way you think. And that's why all those things are being achieved in this organization, not because we're standing alone, but because we actually have a stronger partnering company, a wonderful partnering company that has been able to exist for over 60 years, which is no other company but Neolife. Now, this is an organization that's been existing for over 60 years now, and at the same time is actually situated in California, USA to be precise. And that's just for you to understand that you're coming into the organization, you're coming in to actually be an ambassador of an international company. Now, with this organization, you can be rest assured that there's going to be a big transformation in your life. With this organization, you can be rest assured that there's going to be a lot of personal development and dreams will be achieved. Now, this is actually the founder of the organization and also the CEO. Now, the man actually is Jerry Brasfield. This happens to be the founder of the business. Now, this is the daughter, Kendra Brasfield. Now, Kendra is now the CEO. Now, why is Kendra the CEO? It's just because this is actually an asset that you can pass over from one generation to the other. This is not a job, just like my mentor have said. Now, quickly, let me actually use my mentor as an example. You know, someone actually said, if you really want to know how successful people are in your field, look at people that are ahead of you. Or if you really want to know how successful you're going to be in that field, look at people that are actually ahead of you. Now, this is actually the monthly pay of my mentor, which is no other person but Mr. Dele Akinsinola. Sorry. Okay, this is actually the monthly pay of my mentor, Mr. Dele Akinsinola. Now, I'm very sure we can actually see this. Now, this is just for you to get to understand that your monthly pay can be as crazy as this. That's what you get at the end of the month can be as crazy as this. Now, as at 2014, as at 2014, 6th of 2014, his monthly pay was 551,705. And the following month, the monthly pay actually rose from 551 to 570. Now, the following month, there was a little shake, which was 555. Now, the following month, it rose to 570. Now, let me just stop it there a bit to explain something. Now, this is actually business. And remember, I said it earlier that you're building business. You're not doing business. This simply means certain circumstances or certain environmental circumstances can cause a shake in your monthly pay. But one beautiful thing is the fact that no matter the shake you actually have, you're still going to be within that same level of what you used to earn at the end of the month. And at the same time, also, it can also increase. Now, if you look at, let me just quickly push it forward to 2015, 6th of 2015. Now, look at it. His monthly pay has actually rose from 890 to 1 million. Now, that was the first month he actually earned in millions. That was the first month he actually earned in millions. And you can see that since that period that he actually earned in millions, he continued earning in millions. Now, what's that trying to make you understand is the fact that with this now, you can be rest assured that whatever dream I want to achieve, there's a time frame. I can do this within this time. I can do that within this time. And I tell you, this is an organization whereby all you need to do is just to roll out your dreams. And there's actually, what's it called? The price that you're going to get for all of your dreams that you've actually rolled out in the organization. Now, moving further, when it comes to traveling, now he has also traveled to different countries in the world. He has traveled to different countries. Now, why am I actually using him? I'm using him because he's ahead of me. Now, just for you to get to understand that whatever we say is what you will actually get. Now, this is actually some international stamps, different countries he has been able to visit. You can actually, if you can see some of them, from Lagos to this is actually a visa. You know, is actually it has a permanent residence visa in US, which simply means it's somebody that he should be living in US, but he chose to abandon his permanent residence in US and decide to actually build a business for himself here in Nigeria. This is South Africa. South Africa is just as if he's traveling to Ibadan. That's how South Africa is. Which simply means traveling to South Africa is not actually a problem in this organization. When it comes to traveling in this organization, this man has traveled nothing less, I repeat, nothing less than 20 times in this organization. And one beautiful thing about this traveling is they are all expense paid. All expense paid by the organization. Please, which organization would you be that can be able to take care of your traveling like this? When it comes to Mexico, he has been there. Different countries, name it. Paris, he has been there. Just name it. And as at what's it called? This is also a visa of Schengen visa. That's just for you to get to understand that in this organization, traveling is actually a different ball game. It's not something new. It's not something that you need to sell your house for, you need to sell your property for before you can actually achieve it. It's something that comes with ease in this organization. All you need to do is just to make sure that you actually get yourself involved as a partner in this organization. And I tell you, all those incentives will be falling at your feet, and that's just the way it is. Okay, let's quickly pick something from this. When it comes to our income, let's imagine our income. Let's see our income as a table. Presently now, you're watching, you're listening to me. Look at these two tables. Which one of them actually deputs your income? Which one of them actually shows where you stand presently? Which simply means if your own income is actually the left-hand side table, which is just standing with one leg, I think this is a time for you to make a wise decision. This is a time for you to tell yourself that a change will not change if you don't change. This is a time for you to tell yourself you need to take responsibility. Because the truth is, presently, a lot of people are losing their job. A whole lot of businesses are actually going to close, and that's just for you to understand that if you just have one business and you also have just a job that you think is going to be able to take care of you, no matter how much you are earning on that job, my brother, my sister, your table is just using one leg to stand, no matter what you actually earn on that job. But I tell you, if you have two different legs, a table that have two different legs, it simply means you have multiple streams of earning, and at the same time, you also know that you can be rest assured that the future is actually secured, and that's just the way it is. Now, the next slide. One thing we need to get to understand is when it comes to success in life, success demands so many things from us, so many. But the major 5 things are hard work. Which simply means this is not an organization that you come and you tell yourself, I just want to be there without you not doing the needful. But one thing I tell you is we work hard, but at the same time, we have fun doing what we do. Which simply means we are workaholics. We are not workaholic. And at the same time, you must understand the place of sacrifice. Sacrifice is what actually helps you to achieve what you think you can't achieve. Sacrifice. How well can you sacrifice your time? How well can you sacrifice your resources? How well can you sacrifice your ideas? And you remember that struggle. Freedom comes by struggle. Freedom comes by struggle. If you're there and you're telling me, I just want to be at my comfort zone, I just want to be there, and you believe everything is going to work, nothing works in the place of comfort. Somebody said comfort zone is a place of death. Comfort zone is the place of death because nothing grows in the place of comfort. And another thing you need to do is to have faith. I see faith as you believing in yourself. If you are the type that you don't believe in yourself, you can't go far. If you are the type that you've given up on yourself, it simply means nothing can work. But the moment you tell yourself, I have faith and I know it's going to work, everything is actually going to work. Now, coming into this organization, you need to get to understand that we have different levels of which you can actually get yourself started in this organization. The first level is the level of the unit leaders, and the second level is the level of the unit members. Now, as a unit leader, it simply means you're someone that is ready to go. It simply means you don't actually need somebody to preach to you to get yourself started. As a unit leader, You don't need somebody to tell you what to do. You are spontaneous. You're ready to go. You're good to go. That's actually who unit leaders are. Unit leaders are those that actually tell themselves, I want to do this, and they go ahead and do it. Then while the unit members are people that they're still not really sure, they are still doubting, they still want to consult one or two people, and that's just the way it is. Here in this organization, we believe so much in leadership, and it simply means for you to even become a leader, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to actually have the leadership skills. What we want is the belief that you can actually become a great leader. And of course, with the right mentorship, I tell you, the sky is just the beginning. Now, how can you actually get yourself started? The number one thing you need to get is your right. Your right. Now, what does your right actually gives you? Your right actually gives you the privilege to operate as a legal partner. Your right actually gives you the privilege to enjoy all the benefits I've actually rolled out. Your right actually gives you the privilege to work with a team of people. Now, when it comes to this right, it's just like you have a plot of land, and because that plot of land belongs to your friend, and you want to build on that land without not collecting the C of O. At that point, it simply means when you build on that land, you are lost. Why? Because you don't have the C of O of that apartment. And now, what does your right actually does? Your right actually gives you three major things. Number one that your right actually will give you is what I call direct connectivity, which simply means your right gives you a direct access to the partnering company, to the organization we're in partnership with. And at the same time also, your right actually gives you an identity, which is the ID, that actually makes us identify Bello Tayo from Bello Tayo female, which simply means when it comes to your right actually helps the organization to be able to know how to differentiate you, even though you have different set of people bearing the same name in the same organization. Direct connectivity. And apart from that also, your right also serves as a defense, which simply means this is an organization, or this is a partnership opportunity which you can operate in anywhere in the part of the country. Now imagine you operating in another country or in another state, and you're not a partner with this organization. If anything should happen, I tell you, because the truth is you are building a global business, you are building a big business. If anything happens, nobody will be there to defend you. And that's why it's very important you need to get your right. You need your right. And apart from that also, your right also helps to measure your performance. Measuring your performance is where, I get to know, okay, this is time for you to travel. This is a time for you to get an incentives. This is the time for you to achieve this. This is time for you to do that. And that's just the way it is. One other beautiful thing about this organization is a place of recognition. So many times, some of us, we work in an organization, and at the end of the day, you're not being appraised. Rather than being appraised, somebody else takes the praise. But here in this organization, for everything you do, you are being recognized. For every great impact you make in the organization, you are being recognized. And that's just the way it is. And the next slide, please. Now, when it comes to measuring your performance, when it comes to defense, when it comes to direct connectivity, all of these three, it's what your right actually gives you. Now, getting started in the organization, how much does it even take for you to get started? For you to become a partner in this organization is 17,500. Now, I know so many of us will actually think, oh, so am I going to register with money? Yes, because somebody said for every prize, there is a price, which simply means there is nothing legit you want to do and you will not get yourself registered. You need to get you registered. And that's why I will actually leave you with this. Don't burn your opportunities for a temporal comfort, which simply means presently now, the sub-states are actually in lockdown, but there are some states that are not actually in lockdown, which simply means if your state is actually in lockdown, don't say because you don't really have much, then the little you have, you're not ready to use it to turn over your life or to build something for your life or for your children. I tell you, with the little you have, you can use it to actually build something today that tomorrow you will forever be grateful. You know, my mentor said it earlier that he came into this organization at the time when there was also chaos in the country. Now, that is also the time we have presently, because presently I know so many people have lost their job. Presently now, some CEOs of some organizations are actually reducing the number of staffs they have. Now, if you're telling yourself, I have a job, I don't want to do this, I have a business, I don't want to do this, the truth being said, how sure are you that that business or that job is actually going to sustain you? And you know, one beautiful thing is the fact that your registration actually comes with a kit. There's a kit that will be given to you alongside with your registration. And this kit, inside this kit, there are some brochures that tells and explains to you how the organization operates, how you earn at the end of the month. And at the same time, also, there are also some nutritionals inside the kit that even if you feel you don't want to use it, but of course you're advised to actually use, but if you feel you do want to use it, you can convert it back to money and you make nothing less than 14,000 naira at the end of the day. And that's just the way it is. You know, one thing I tell people is this: don't actually tell yourself, I'm not ready to take risk. But remember that risk takers are life changers. And I tell you, if you're the type that actually you are afraid, you know, someone actually said, fear is just a false evidence appearing real. That is actually fear for you. Fear is a false evidence appearing real. And fear doesn't stop death. Fear actually stops life, which simply means when you're actually afraid, your fear does not actually stop you from actually achieving from actually, you know, stopping death, but your fear actually stops you from achieving life. And at the same time also, I just want us to get to understand that this is a time that we can build something for ourselves. This is a time that we need to actually take the bull by the horn, because risk takers are life changers. Now I'm going to hand it over back to Mr. Dele Akisonola. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kwe. That was a powerful presentation, very, very short and precise. That was accurate and great. I want to believe everybody online here, you've actually listened to all that she has explained. That is just a brief about the organization. Now, for those that will be selected eventually, she has said it all, your registration will take you 17,500. Why do you need money for registration? You need money for registration because it is business. It is not a job. Not somebody is giving you a job. You are taking a franchise. You are getting a franchise for yourself. A franchise is a right to operate, a right to get going, a right to make things happen for yourself. That is why we all went to school. When you went to school, you paid for acceptance fee to be part of that school, to have a certificate out of that school. You paid for school fees. There are a lot of professional qualifications we've gotten. You paid for the right to get that certificate. Right is not given on a platter of gold. You have to pay the price to get it. And that is one thing a right is all about. Now, what does it mean? There are three categories of people from experience in this gathering now. There are those who see possibilities and they tell themselves, I'm ready to get going, irrespective of. And there are some people that money has become a problem to them now. The moment money is mentioned now, they are smiling inside. Hey, one fake me. Guys, let me tell you the truth. You're not paying your money to fill anybody's pocket. I know there is fear everywhere. Ms. Tope said something the other time that really struck me. And she said, fear does not stop death. Fear stops life. Fear does not stop failure. Fear stops success. What does it mean? It means if you sit back there and all you are thinking about is one fake ban me, they want to scam me. When I came into the organization 8 years ago, I also got registered. My registration was 8,500. Today, you saw my bonus sample. That was as far back as 2014, 2015. Please, how many 8,500 will you remove from my bonus today? Guys, let me tell you the truth. If you have 17,500 to register and you don't pay for your registration, I can assure you that you will squander the money, you will finish the money, and at the end of lockdown, life remains the same. Now, at the same time, you may not have the money, but a good mindset, a right mindset, will make you know how to look for it, and you get it, and you get registered, and you get going. Now, how can you get the money even when you don't get it? Let me teach you a very practical example. 1,000 naira in 17 places, how much will it give you? It will give you 17,000 naira. So very simple. Whatever you don't have and you need, Why don't you look for people that can assist you to raise it? 2,000 naira in 9 places will give you nothing less than 18,000 naira. Now, what does it mean? It means when your mind is open, when your mind is willing, ways will open to make do what you want to make do. Now, here in this organization, we are not looking for everybody. We're not looking for those who are scared, those who are saying they want to scam me, those who are saying, I don't think I can do it, those who are saying, I don't think I'm ready. We're looking for those who are ready to take the bull by the horn and they are ready to get going. Are you getting it now? Now, if you know you're that kind of person, you're ready to get going, you're ready to take the bull by the horn, but you still have questions, no problem. Now, after this session now, you have to send a text message to the number that sent you the link for this online workshop and tell the person you are done with the workshop, what next? Now, the person will call you and you'll be able to ask all your questions from such person. Now, the person representing the organization will take all your questions and will be able to put you through. Now, if eventually you are able to proceed to your registration is to be processed online. Now, you don't need to send your money to anybody. You can do it yourself online. That is if you don't have trust. Now, if you have trust, you can decide to send it to the person who is connecting with you and begin to work it along with the person because they will also need your details for your documentation. Now, along the line too, now, if whichever way you are doing it, it is online, your registration kit will be delivered to your address in 2 days' time. Meaning that if you get registered today, give yourself 24 to 48 hours, FedEx will deliver your registration kit to your address if you are in Lagos. Are you getting it now? If you are not in Lagos, they will deliver it to FedEx office in your state. Let's say, for instance, you are in Ondo State, it will be delivered to FedEx office in Akure, and from there it can be conveyed back to your address. So what does it mean? It means the moment the registration is conveyed back to you, it comes with the materials like Mr. Tope said, and these materials and the nutritional brand in it can be converted back to money. So what does it mean? It means the money the nutritional brand can be converted back to is about 14,000 naira. So what does it mean? It means out of 17,500, if you remove 14,000 naira out of it, it means what you are parting with is just 3,500 naira. Now everybody tell me the truth. Where's the problem coming from with 3,500 naira? So you could see, it is not the money that is the problem. It is our mindset that is the problem. Now, at the same time, the organization is willing to guide you. For those who are able to get registered, like I said, you're going to continue your trainings as from tomorrow because there are a series of training you're going to go through online. We call it circle training for beginners, where a lot of things about the organization will be explained in depth. What you've had today is just a summary, a paraphrase. How do you achieve each step by the way? Each step along the way, how do you move from one level to another? What are the things you need to do? How do you put 1 + 1 together to give you 11 in business? 1 + 1 is 11 in business, not 2. How do you put 2 + 2 together to give you 22? How do you get to results that will commensurate with your effort? How do you even get results this month? Let me tell you the truth. For those of you who are able to pay your registration immediately and you get started as a unit leader, you can still get paid before the end of this month. Yes, I know what I'm saying. Because you're going to build up of performance. How do you build this performance? Those are the things you'll be going through in the course of your trainings. Now, you see a lot of people, they will also say, I would have loved to pay, but I don't have the money for my registration all at once. Now, you also have the grace of paying for your registration instrumentally. Now, for those that can pay for their registration instrumentally, you connect still with the number that was used to invite you, and through that number, you begin to pay for your registration bit by bit by bit. The person will send to you the company's registration account, and you can be paying for your registration into it bit by bit, and they will be guiding you along the line. It has been a wonderful session, everybody. I look forward to be part of training for those who have been able to be part of this session, and you are able to progress from here. Now, this is where you know champions. Who are champions? Champions are those who do not wait for anybody to get going. The world does not celebrate thinkers. The world celebrates achievers. The third category of people that are here are thinkers. You see some people, they will say, I want to think about it. Everything is said, it looks good, it looks beautiful, but I want to think about it. Guys, it's good to think. But remember, Pastor Sam Adeyemi said, too much analysis leads to paralysis. You agree with me that most of the time, things that you take your time to think about, you don't end up doing them. So what does it mean? It means the things we do most times are the things we do by impulse. And when you make an impulse move to do something, please don't go back on it, because you go back home now, people at home will begin to discourage you. They will say, I want to marry online. I want to buy. Nobody anywhere. Nobody, I repeat, Nobody anywhere is there to scam or fraud anybody. It's easier these days for you to detect fraud. You're going to pay your money through an account. If you detect fraud along the line in the process, you could trace the accounts to your bank through which you pay the money to. So everything is traceable, and don't have the mentality of they want to scam me. Oh, low, no fake buy, no fake buy, no way. And that is why everybody needs to get to understand that this is not a time to be too scared. This is the time for you to stand by what you want to do and make a move for your life. Make a move for your life. Are you getting it now? I was watching a program by Ubon King just this morning, and Ubon King said, one of the problems we have in life is that we inherited poverty from generation to generation. They don't need to teach us how to be poor, but it is difficult to teach us how to be successful. Guys, nobody taught you how to be poor, but you need people to teach you how to succeed. Now, very quickly, I will take some of the private chats that came in the course of the question. There is a Shola here that said he could not hear what the session was all about. He could not hear anything. Please, if you invited Shola, try to get in touch with him to guide him through. There is Danjuma Iraya. Please get in touch with Danjuma Iraya. He could not hear anything along the line too. Please get in touch with Mba Nkoyo Ikpo. Get in touch with Mba Nkoyo. Also get in touch with Olasukomi. Olasukomi said he would love the session to be dropped on his WhatsApp. I'm sorry, we don't do that. We do it through direct conversation. We don't drop on WhatsApp because this is a long speech. It cannot be explained on WhatsApp. And another person said he would prefer the catalog to be dropped for him on WhatsApp. Now, the catalog of your business startup will be in your registration kit, which will be sent to you. And this catalog will also be used in the course of your training. So the first thing is for you to understand what you're going to do, for you to have the materials and get going with it, Another person, Ayola, is asking another question. Please, for every other question you have, please connect with the number that invited you, ask them your questions, and they will be able to put you through. Now, basic thing of what you'll be doing is what Mr. Tope has explained generally. Corporate presentation, trainings, and development. Now, how do you go about this? Are things you will learn in the course of your training. But for you to be part of training, you need to show your sincerity that you're ready to be part of the organization. The organization should have your documents, and they will be able to guide you along step by step. It's been a wonderful session, everybody. I wish every one of us a beautiful evening as we are ending the session. And I wish us a prosperous future as we build through. Guys, remember, it's not just about today, it's about tomorrow. Start something today that will take care of your tomorrow. I'm proud of everybody who has taken time to be part of this workshop, and I'll be glad to see you in the course of your training. Have a prosperous day ahead. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.